Before we get started, I want to quickly let you know that we are doing a massive crypto giveaway that is exclusive only to our YouTube subscribers. So one of you will have the opportunity to win over £10,000 worth of prizes. We're giving away a 13-inch MacBook Pro, a Ledger X for you to store your cryptos. We're also putting £1,000 worth of Bitcoin direct into your trading account and giving away a lifetime membership to our online training program, yourcryptoclub.com, which is a comprehensive and easy to follow online course and support, which has all of our proven money making strategies. And lastly, an opportunity to attend our live virtual crypto mastery workshop, where you'll learn how to invest your money safely and securely with our low risk and highly profitable strategies. All you have to do to enter is hit the subscribe button and you'll automatically be entered into this giveaway. All the terms and conditions are in the description box below. We wish you the best of luck. Go ahead and subscribe now. And without any further ado, let's get started with today's video. Welcome everybody to the Trades of the Week, where myself, Marcus de Maria, and my head trader, who at the moment is actually in Scandinavia, so he is zooming in here, are going to be revealing what we're getting in and getting out of. And I have to say, it is an amazing session this week because we're going to be talking about what's happening in the market. And there's one of the big hedge funds has taken a huge hit. And I mean, we're talking about multi-billions. We're also going to be talking about, obviously, what is happening with the stocks, our VCA strategies. We've got some absolutely amazing ones for you to get into. And cryptos, where we are up because the market has been going up as usual. And we're going to be looking at some for you to get into, which we think have huge potential as well. So that and much, much more. Dennis, let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the Buffaloes. Dennis, show us whether we made some profits or not from last week.
Absolutely. So the first one we looked at was American Tower Corp. So we had some good gains from this in the past, and now we got a second shot at it.
All right. So yes, that's right. We did really, really well last time. Then it went shot back up, giving us an entry point. As you see there, it's touching the line. But what we're really looking for, as always, is a smaller red candle that Dennis likes before going short. So hopefully we got that, Dennis.
Yeah, well, you know, even though I'm colorblind, right, the red candles are nice. And we were on this candle here, the one that really is touching, but then the day after it broke out, we see that green candle where it broke above the resistance line. And then, so following our recipe, the one we teach, right, at the workshops or in the club, your trading club, then you would have placed an order on this one right here, the one that actually broke out. But
and so you would have gotten in.
Yes, exactly.
On that red candle, right?
Yeah, you would have gotten in on the next red candle then that dipped down. But what I like to do. But
normally that's really what you're looking for, isn't it? That red candle would really have been the one that kind of positions it, and then if it goes below that red candle, that's when you would have gotten in, more experienced, right?
Yes, correct. So what you will be able to do is to start to read the candles and do more advanced techniques, which comes with experience and practice, and which we hope you learn here as well. So that's the reason we never got into this, because we were waiting for it to close below this red candle, because we got the reversal candles, but then it continued higher instead. So we want to avoid that.
So it's not enough for you just to see it touching the line. You're always waiting for that reversal candle and then a stop order to get you in. So it needed to have gone below that candle there. And you see what happened. It didn't do that. It just carried on up.
Yes, okay, exactly.
Very good. Okay, what else? What else?
So that was that. And then we have Booz Allen. We've been following that for quite some time now.
Oh my goodness. This one just seems to be going sideways forever. Okay, what happened there?
Yeah, but now it's starting to move up again. And what I really like about this is that it actually closed above the last highs here, which is a good sign, I think, because now I think it will build the momentum to keep going higher.
You heard it here on this channel first. Dennis thinks it's going to go straight up like a rocket. Very good.
No,
Let's see whether he's next week. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, no, me too. It's going to be awesome. And then the other one is also Electronic Arts, where we entered. And we
Yes.
were above break even last time, but now we are a bit in profit. So it's also shooting higher. It looks also really, really good. So we'll see what happens.
Hurrah. Okay, so on two of them, we have a tiny little profit. And
Mm.
on one, debatable whether we made a loss or not. We personally wouldn't have made a loss, but I think some people might have gotten in on that one there because it was touching the line. Okay,
Exactly.
so what do we have in the news now, Dennis? Because there was some big news there about some kind of an announcement of some big hedge fund losing a lot of money here.
Yeah, very interesting actually. I'm going to get into that in just a moment, but just quickly go through some of the other positions here as well. We have
Oh,
PEG,
we got
Public
more.
Services Enterprise. We were shorting that. And
Yeah.
this was actually a 1% loss. It did give
Ah,
us a reversal candle. It did take us in and then went up to give us a 1% loss. We'll take that as a learning, which is awesome. And now we move
what's the
on.
learning? What's the learning?
The learning here is that loss is part of the game. It's like last time, actually. I know I said that last time as well,
There's
but it
no
is just
learning
part of the
here.
game.
It's just part of the game, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Well, that's
Uh,
just okay, fine. And then the next one is Spotify. And
mm.
Spotify is an interesting one. I think this could be an opportunity today as well, because we looked at this last week and we have this small candle here, as you could see, and we had our order above that. And what happened was that this small candle, which the arrow is on, that was actually the highest point, and then it just fell down from there, which leads us to well, at least one major learning point, like Mark just touched upon, and that is to always use a stop order. Do not just rush into the trade, use a stop order to enter.
Okay.
So, and we were
Now,
just
obviously,
lucky
that's
here.
when we
Mm.
saw it, right, Dennis? That's when
Yeah,
we saw it. But actually, if people would have seen it the day before,
yes,
probably would have gotten in on this one.
exactly. And then you would have made a loss. So it is a bit of coincidence as well in this case.
So we were lucky. We didn't make a loss.
No, we
Okay.
were lucky there.
Others
Exactly.
might have. But so what are you saying now? So now, because I see you drawing another line, are you saying that
Yes.
there's a possible kind of entry point here?
Yes, I think so, because we do have a divergence here, and we're not going to go too deep into that. But for those of you who are with us and in the courses, you will know what a divergence is with some indicators, which usually indicates that we might have a turning point here. So I think it looks pretty good. We have three bounces here. It is on that outer line. So I think this could be a good opportunity. Spotify is a solid company, and hopefully we will see a reversal higher in the tech market, which will then take Spotify with it.
Oh,
Mm.
amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, so let's talk about the hedge fund then.
Yes.
What happened there?
So what happened was, we all know the markets has been extremely bullish, especially the tech market since March, since the big dip during Corona. And what have happened is that the hedge funds, a lot of them, has been really, really over leveraged. They have borrowed way too much money to trade. And now the past week or two, a lot of companies has fallen a lot actually. So some has fallen down 14%, like Discovery is one, the ticker is DISCA, and that fell down 14, 15%. And since they were over leveraged, some of the hedge funds has lost 20 billion. I can show you just a snapshot of it here. So what you can see here is that Archegos is one of the big hedge funds. They lost 20 billion meeting a margin call, which is too much. And I'm very actually surprised they're taking these big risks. And what I can see here as well is a lot of these, like Tencent Music Entertainment Group, we have Tekadu as well. They're listed on the New York Stock Exchange, but some of them are Asian companies, Baidu as well. A big e-commerce company, or well, internet search giant, that is Baidu, but they have just fallen a lot in value. Some lost 14, 15, even 20% over a week, which is big if you are over leveraged. So in short, what happened was they have lost loads of money because they were really betting that the market would go up, and it went the other direction.
So what does that mean for us in the markets here?
Yeah, so what that would mean in the market is that short term, I would say then the market might be more bearish because they had all the margin calls, which means a lot of stop losses probably taken, they were liquidated. And if that starts to trigger more stop losses, the markets might be heading a lot lower.
Okay,
So
so we need to make sure that we're hedged here. So do we have
yes.
any positions here, more shorts maybe than longs?
We do actually. So we are in a couple of long ones, but to start with some shorts, we can start looking at Atmos Energy, ATO.
Okay, so now this
And
is an interesting one, right? Because
yeah,
right here, what we discussed just now on the
yeah.
other ones is that would not be an entry point. What we're looking for is a bearish candle first, right?
Correct. So we've seen that in the past here. We get these big red candles. So I'm hoping for, I'm really the risk reward here, the risk, the red area versus the big green reward area is like an 8-1. So I'm very happy waiting for one of these bigger red candles. It would be amazing with even a candle that covers this whole green called an engulfing candle to then give us a signal that it then might be going lower. So I'm going to wait for that.
That would be amazing if we got an 8-1. What that means is that we're risking 1% on our portfolio, but then if it really does go all the way down here, as you can see on the chart, that would mean an 8% gain on our entire portfolio, which would be absolutely fantastic. Really hope that one plays out and you guys can see that in action. Okay, do we have any more, Dennis?
We do. We have another one here, which is Reality Corp. This is TRNO. And we have a reversal candle here, so I think this one is ready to go. And we have a
Okay.
3-1 on this, so it's we're risking 1 in order to make 3%. So I think this
Nice,
one
very
could be a good
nice.
one.
Yeah, okay, and we've got the little red candle there already, ready to go with a stop order to get in there as it comes down. And one more?
Yes, we have a long opportunity as well because we want to be hedged. So this one has a big green, nice candles. In case we do go higher, then we have this one as well. So this is HTHT.
All right, very, very good. Let's see what happens this time and next week on that, Dennis. Okay, Dennis, let's talk about cryptos.
Yes.
Okay, lots been happening in the markets, but first of all, what happened? So basic attention token, for example, remember this is the Brave browser, and it's a really, really solid one. It really, over the years hasn't really gone up that much, but recently has been on an absolute tear, and has come back down. And we looked at it last time, it was at minus 22% for our first entry point. Dennis, what happened?
Yeah, and then after that, we're up 18% now.
18%. Now, BAT, it's interesting. Would you consider that to be a kind of a solid one? Are we looking for 100% on that, or more of a small cap where we're looking at 50% gains?
Yeah, exactly. So with the small cap, we're looking for 100%, and the CCA, we're looking for 50%. And I would say this would be a CCA almost because it's solid. It has a big user base, been around for years. And I think one message I want to give to people here is it did look very high, even though it was just down 22%. But we need to start building positions. So down 20% is good. It really goes against, I don't want to enter that high. I would rather enter a lot lower. But people said that with Bitcoin when it was at $100, $200, $300. So we need to start building positions. So I would say this is
so even
a solid
it's
one.
at a higher point, but so we might be in at the bottom and it's going up, up, up. But then when it's at a higher point and it's starting to retrace according to our strategies in the club, then what we want to make sure is that we start getting in and building that second position, even though it is higher, because we are in a long-term bull market. Very, very important. Okay, so what else do we have?
We have Mana as well, the Decentraland, which is exciting.
Yes. Okay, so we were at minus 29%. That was our first entry point, and we're now plus 18% on that. So well done. Not yet time to, you know what?
Milk the cow.
Well, you said it, so off you go. Very good.
Moo. It's good. It's been
Yeah,
improving.
that was a good one, Dennis. Okay, and
Thank you.
yeah.
And then we have crypto.com. This is exciting.
This is exciting, actually. Yeah. There's lots happening here. I'm going to go to some of the information I have there about Visa moving to allow payment settlement using cryptocurrencies. This is absolutely huge. You've got to understand Visa, of course. I mean, you probably own a Visa card or somebody in your family does, right? So if they're doing that and they're using USDC, and they're also using crypto.com, so that this is potentially huge. And as you see here, we got our entry point at minus 22. Then we were up, what is this one here? Plus 15%, went up a lot higher, of course. So it has actually come back a little bit. Is this the recent chart here, Dennis?
No, we have this one here. So we're up 25% currently on crypto.com from that initial point.
Yeah, but it's still off its high, which is really interesting when you think about that Visa made such a huge announcement. Now, even though we're in at a much lower price, I'm extremely tempted to watch this go a little bit lower and start building a second position on this, even though it's at a higher price than my initial position, because that is big news. That is big news indeed. What about
Yeah,
you, Dennis?
and
Are
we've
doing
been
the
talking
same?
about this for a long time. For those of you who have been following the videos for a longer time, you've been with us since maybe the beginning of the year. You were actually able to get in all the way down here. That was the first time we mentioned it as well. When that happened, right? So I hope you guys took action then as well. But more importantly, keep coming back, right? Keep coming back, because you will get those kind of opportunities again.
Yeah, very good. Okay, what else do we have?
I think then we have, that is pretty much it for the kind of recap. If you watched last week, we had a lot more we showed then, both in terms of the Buffalo and crypto, but some of them are at the same point. So we don't want to be showing if they're just doing not much, if that makes sense. But
Makes
if
sense.
we take a look at Bitcoin as well, I think it looks interesting because we do have these goes up and then it goes down again, these waves basically. We had another one, and now it looks to be fighting with the 60,000 again. So if we manage to break above 60,000, well, then it might go a lot higher from there. But we need to break it and close above first, like Marcus usually says.
But the reason that I think it is going to go up, because it actually did close above 60,000 before. I was very surprised that it didn't carry on going up, I'll be honest. And as it came down, was great to get in, which I did. I bought in again when it fell down. I think I got in at around 54,000. It did fall a little bit lower than that actually, but so now slight profit on that. I'm really looking for this to go higher. Let's see whether that happens. Do you think it's going to go higher?
Yeah, I think so, especially if you think about all the fundamentals that is happening. And I know Willy Woo also said you'd be crazy to sell Bitcoin at these prices. And it depends on how long term you are looking here. But Tesla, for example, you can now buy Tesla cars, right, with the Bitcoin, which is kind of interesting. And if they are doing it, what other companies will start doing it? We had news last week that Morgan Stanley, one of the biggest banks in the US, they are now getting more into cryptos. But what's interesting is the 6 or 7 other major banks in the US are not yet. What happens when they open their doors as well? So I just think there's
They're
so much
definitely
upside.
looking at it, Dennis. They're definitely looking at it
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Listen, like we always say, no one wants to be first, right? So if people like Goldman Sachs and the others, like you mentioned now, Morgan Stanley, no one wants to be last. No one wants to be left out. They're all going to jump in. But believe me, behind the scenes, they are discussing it because they don't want to see their competitors take all the action and all the money. So there's no doubt about that. By the way, you mentioned don't sell Bitcoin. I agree about selling Bitcoin and then just whatever, cashing out. I wouldn't do that. But what I would do is use my Bitcoin maybe to transfer into some smaller coins that have much more of an opportunity of going up a much larger percentage. Because think about it, Bitcoin might go up another, 100, 200, 300%. But some of the others could go up 1,000, 5,000, even 10,000%. So that's definitely something that I would do. Shall we look at some of the others? So for example, one token here. Let's. Do you have that one or Cosmos? Which one are we going to look at?
Yeah, we can. First one, I just want to mention Chiles. That is one we mentioned last time.
Okay.
The one, the blockchain that are kind of supporting all of the kind of football clubs, such as Juventus. We mentioned last time that Cristiano Ronaldo gets tokens each time he scores a goal, and all those are building on the Chiles blockchain. And that's still down 43%. So if you missed the opportunity, do your research. But this is absolutely one we are building a position in as well.
So that one hasn't moved. So should we start with one token then?
I
It says
think
here that
so.
one token holders can buy unique experiences, flights, and hotel stays here at over 3 million plus travel locations, which is absolutely amazing on traveler.com. This is a huge step for blockchain and for definitely for one, that's for sure. But for blockchain in general, as more adoption comes, absolutely incredible. And if you have a look at here, not surprising really, it's pretty much near an all-time high. So we really need this to drop. This is one of our small caps. We need it to drop, as you can see, to that point here. What is that? 0.165 or something like that? Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and the reason we do this now is because what if during the next week it's gonna dip below to the 25% mark and then shoot up higher? We just want to be able to catch it. So we put a limit order in, which means that when it goes down, it takes us in automatically. So you don't need to look at it every day unless you want to, but to put an order in.
I mean, it can easily happen. Have a look at the dip that it had just a week ago. It can easily happen just in a few days, you know? So what else do we have? What else do we have? We have Cosmos launching into
Yes.
blockchain communication to enable cross-chain DeFi. This, again, is absolutely fantastic because that means that crypto assets are able to be transferred between independent blockchains. That is, again, fairly new stuff. Listen, the whole infrastructure is being built right now. Okay, so this might mean that Cosmos is likely to go up. Let's have a look at the chart here. It's at minus 23% from a high. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So minus 25% would be better, but it's not bad to start building a position around this point. And if
I
you put
mean,
an
the point
order in
is,
this
though, that
2%
Dennis, that it
yeah.
was below there, right? If you have a
Yeah.
look, it kind of, and you know, there's every chance that it might come down to give us a better entry point. But with this news, it's very unlikely. I think it's going to go up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too. So we need to act on the news as well. And if you are a member of your crypto club as well, and if you are looking to do that, please comment below if you would be interested in joining our club, where we give, on a weekly basis in a Telegram, where we give opportunities like this when we are getting in. So you're getting it in every Tuesday, but you could get it a lot more often, so you don't miss these opportunities.
Absolutely. Do comment below. Comment below if you're interested in learning more about it. We'll be in contact. The reason is, look, on a Tuesday, you get it at minus 23, but you can see it was way below. You know, it was at what, at 20 now, but it was at 17 before. That's a huge, huge difference, guys. So if you want to get in earlier, make sure that you do comment below and we will be in touch. Do we have anything else apart from one and Cosmos? Is there anything else we need to do this week?
No, that is it for this week with cryptos.
Fantastic. So we look at seeing what will happen this time next week. Okay, so let's have a look at our value cost averaging strategy. And this is the one, obviously, where we're invested longer term. This could be months to years. Now, Dennis, I believe that since last week, they haven't really moved much. So there's no point really looking. Is that correct?
That is correct. So we looked at Beyond Meat among a lot of other ones. Apple is another, but they're really been moving up and down a little bit. So they haven't really moved much. It is a longer term strategy. So we're not going to be showing them every week necessarily, but we do have some new opportunities for you.
Yes, let's have a look at some new opportunities. I believe we're looking at Paycom. What do they do? Another technology stock, though, Dennis.
Yeah, exactly. They deliver the software to different companies through a lot of cloud services. They have a big cloud service and they deliver different kind of solutions for companies to enhance their businesses basically. And they've been doing really well, actually putting a lot of money into development throughout the pandemic. And we know that these cloud services like Zoom is another one which we're using now, interestingly, but they've been doing really well. So and we can look at some of the fundamentals here. It's currently down 23% from the high, but by looking at the fundamentals here and see that they have an okay income, the sales has been increasing throughout 2019 and 2020, have good return on investment, equity, and return on assets. And even though they made a lot of investments, they have very low debt.
I'm looking at the earnings per share this year, and that's mainly because of all the research that they've been doing and investing internally throughout the pandemic, and they believe that that is really going to catapult them over the next few years. So let's have a look at the chart. Is it down? Because we do need, with a value cost average strategy, for it to be down at least 20%, and there we have a look at minus 23%. So this is an entry point for us. And we're hoping, actually, that it doesn't go straight up. We're hoping that it goes down. Remember the calculators that we showed a few weeks back, I think it was even last week, where basically we're looking to get in several times to get that lower average point. Anything more on that, or can we move on to our next stock there, Dennis?
No, I think we can move on to the next stock.
Okay, so let's move on to Square. Of course, Square is a company that is very much involved in cryptos. In fact, they've just announced that they're going to add to the $50 million worth of Bitcoin that they bought in October. They're going to put another 170 million in, which is really interesting, isn't it? So as the price goes up, they're now putting 3 times more in. This is how much they believe in Bitcoin. And obviously in the crypto club, actually one of the ways we make money is to invest in public companies such as Square that are investing and taking advantage of blockchain. So this is actually on that list as well. And we can see there, it's down 26% from a high. Now, this is an all-time high, that is true, but it is down 26%. Think about it, almost 30%, a third down. So this will be our first entry point that we're going to look at. Anything you want to add there, Dennis?
No, actually not. I think it's an amazing company, and I think you mentioned this. They have 5% of their holdings in Bitcoin, which I think is great. They are really at the forefront, and we really want to look at companies that are adapting to the new technologies, adapting to the world we're living in. I think Kodak is such a brilliant example of someone that did not adapt. They thought that digital cameras were just going to pass by, and a $1 billion company, I don't know how big it was huge, went into bankruptcy. But we want to look at these, and that's a golden nugget for you, so make sure you write that down. But we look at companies that are actually adapting to the world around them, and Square is just a testament of that.
Great, absolutely, great point. Yep, so we've definitely got that on the list, and we're looking forward to seeing what will happen this time next week. Okay, so let's have a look at the results. Obviously, we had that 1% loss on the Buffalo, so it's now down to only 23% on our entire portfolio, which is still really, really good. But on the VCA, nothing's changed because we haven't gotten out yet. In fact, our VCAs are just don't seem to be moving at the moment. On the cryptos, the same, even though they are moving up. You saw a couple of 18%, which is amazing. We haven't yet milked that cow. Very important that we milk that cow, but not yet. But as they go up, obviously, we will be taking some profits on that, on the CCA and the small cap as well. So not really much changed since last time. So I hope that you enjoyed the trades of the week, and please do comment below if you agree or disagree with anything that we have said. So for example, did you like the companies that we talked about? Or did you like Square? Are you going to get in? Are you not? Are you going to watch from the sidelines? You know, it's really important that you get involved here and do comment below. And like I say, you know, if you agree or disagree, we'd love to hear from you. Equally important, please do subscribe so that you don't miss out on the opportunities that we are getting into and getting out of. Use it as a springboard to then do your own research. And if you want to get these kind of results, obviously, that would be absolutely fantastic. And we'd love to hear from you if you do that. But please go ahead and subscribe now.